Hello, this video is going to look at just this one example that you can see in front of you. This is an example from a National 5 applications paper. It's going to use your area knowledge and skills to calculate the cost of the fence, as you can see in front of you. The questions were 3 marks and it is a paper 1 question, so that's non-calculator. So you shouldn't be using your calculators on this one. The clue, by the way, is when you see this. When you see take pi equal to 3.14, generally what that means is that you're dealing with a non-calculator question. I'm going to work through this question and then I've got a series of questions on a worksheet for you guys to try. This is one example of a exam style question. You will not necessarily be able to copy the exact strategies here, but what you need to get used to is the general strategies for tackling these questions. Look at the question, find the key information, what are you asked to do, and then you have to draw on your skills to answer the question. So let's just first of all look at the question. So we've got that Joe's bought a plot of land in the shape of rectangle and a semicircle. So straight away you should be thinking of compound shapes. You should be thinking about what you know about rectangles, what do you know about circles, and calculating their perimeters. He plans to buy a fence to put around a plot of land. Fine. I'm not really fussed what the company name is, doesn't matter. It says that they charge £15 per metre, okay, and then we're asked to calculate the cost of the fence. That's important information, and also the dimensions are important information. Okay, so first things first, we need to calculate the perimeter of this shape. And the shape is split into two pieces, isn't it? So we've got the perimeter of the semicircle and the perimeter of the rectangle, which I'm going to call shape 1 and shape 2. Now remember what we've done previously is we've just stuck a line across to kind of indicate the two shapes. So I'm going to put a dotted line across there. In the real world situation, in an exam situation, you could quite happily just draw on your exam paper. So I'm going to call this number 2 and this number 1. Okay, so thinking about the circle, semicircle, we know that the circumference is equal to pi times diameter. In this case, we have a semicircle, so we have to divide that by 2. Okay, so we have to divide that semicircle by 2. So remember the question says take pi is 3.14, so there's 3.14. Diameter is going to be half of the 20. Okay, so you can see that there. That's the full diameter of the circle, so half of that is just 10, which is great news for that multiplication because it makes it nice and easy. So 3.14 times 10 is 31.4, and then 31.4 divided by 2 is going to give you 15.7. Okay, so 31.4 divided by 2 is going to give you 15.7. If you need to do a bit of work in to show that, go ahead. In my head, all I did was divide 30 by 2 to get 15, and then I divided 1.4 by 2 to get 0.7 and added those two things together. Perimeter of shape number 2 is just the rectangle, but remember, we're only going to want the three sides. We're going to want this side here, and this side here. Okay, so perimeter of number 2 is going to be equal to, we're going to have an 8 plus a 20 plus an 8 again. The thing I forgot down here, guys, is my units. That's bad form. So 28 plus 8, 8 and 8, 16 plus 20, so 36 meters. So the total perimeter now, let's just move this up a little bit. Total perimeter 36 plus 15.7, that's going to be 51.7 5.7 meters. Okay, so that's our total fence perimeter. Last bit of the question, calculate the cost. So the cost is 51.7 times 15. Okay, 51.7 multiplied by 15. So we could do different things here. We could multiply 51.7 times 10, multiply 51.7 times 5 and add it together. That's probably what I'll do. So if I do, let's just do some working at the side here. I'm going to just change my pencil color. I'm going to do 51.7 multiplied by 10. That's 517. Then I'm going to do 51.7 multiplied by 5. Now I'm going to use a bit of a sum here. Keep my decimal point where it is. 7.7 times 5 is going to give us 3.5. So that's 3 there. And I'm going to carry that 3 across. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 3 is 8. 5 times 5 is 25. So the cost, I need to just move my working across ever so slightly because it's just about in my way. My cost is going to be 517 plus 258.50. Now again, if you need to do a little bit of working off to the side, you can go ahead and do that. Okay, just do the working at the side. That's what non-calculator questions are all about. Okay, so let's do 258.50 plus 517. If you can do this in a different way, go ahead, that's fine. I'm just showing you that doing your working is appropriate. 8 plus 7 is 15, carry 1. 5 plus 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 5 plus 2 is 7. So I'm reckoning the total cost is £775.50. Okay. There's a reason this is National 5 level, guys, okay, because it involves parts of circles, parts of rectangles, mental calculations, and then a little bit of work at the end there, okay, in decimals. There's a reason that it's National 5, and that's it. Okay, so £775.50 for that. Remember the strategies with these. Look at the question. Don't be frightened by the number of words. Highlight, underline, do whatever you want to highlight the key information. Then start thinking about what you know and putting the problem together. The worst you're going to be is wrong with these questions, and that's fine. You may not instantly know the answer, but you do know how to calculate perimeters, so you can start putting things together. The important thing with these questions is to have a go at them. You learn by doing, okay? And past paper questions have a habit of coming up again and again in not very dissimilar ways than they did in previous years. So they are well worth practicing for those of you that want to achieve your National 5, okay? I'm happy to answer questions on these. Please do give me a shout. Obviously, with us being back in school, it is a bit more difficult for me to answer questions because I will be teaching classes. So you can speak to me in class, that's fine. You can also email me and I'll do my best to get back to you, but please bear in mind that I am now teaching in school at the same time, okay?